and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my garage. The weather's not very nice today, so I thought I'd do another wee talk about the bike. This is really, I'm not going to do any modifications to it, I'm not doing anything to the bike. What I wanted to talk about was some of the decisions I made leading up to purchasing this bike. Yeah, I had seen this bike kind of advertised. I had went to have a wee look at them and things, and I was thought, oh, yes, this is a really, really nice machine. Initially, I had ideas in my head about what specification I wanted on it. But when I went along to the dealers to have a look at this model, they actually had this bike in stock, and it was in the colour that I actually wanted. And it only came in a few days beforehand. It was brand spanking new in the dealers. Because initially I thought, if I like it, I'll order one, and probably will take months to get one. So I never expected it to be such a quick purchase. And actually, even when I said, yeah, I'll buy it, even a couple of hours after I had said that, another person came in and saw this bike and said, oh, I love it. Is that one? And I'm interested in buying one of these, and is that one for sale? I'm sorry, that one's gone. It's for so that person had to get a black one. They just couldn't get this one. So this was meant for me, this bike. But it was, because it was on the shop floor, it was actually a higher specification than I had previously really considered purchasing. I did want the kind of comfort pack which came with cruise control and heated grips and various other bits and pieces, but potentially one without the electronic suspension. I thought, well, I really need that. But this one already had all those bits on it, so it was already pretty fully loaded. So I thought, well, why not? So the only extras that I really wanted for it was to basically have the top box and the rack. And my initial idea was, because, well, basically I had, from the Tiger, I still had my GV panniers and things, and even top box and stuff, but I thought, I don't think that's really going to suit this style of this bike, having my black GV panniers and things on it. They suited the Tiger because it was a proper adventure bike. This is more a sports tourer than the adventure styling. So I thought, and I didn't really like the look of the GV racks and things that went on to it. It was all, yeah, they're functional, but they weren't very elegant. Whereas the rack and everything that comes on this, it's a beautiful piece of sculpture. So yeah, so I went for the top box and the rack. And my initial intention was to use the small SW Motec side carriers on this rather than the GV. Yeah, so I've got these SW Motec cases that I use on the wee Royal Enfield and also on the Bonneville. They just go between the two bikes. And SW Motec also make a mount for this bike. It does away with because this bike did come with the Pannier mounts on it. But this wee bit's only 4 bolts underneath, and you can buy the SW Motec mounts. And my idea was to do that and just clip on these wee bags on the side and just use them along with the top box. And that's what I was going to do, to give me some carrying capacity, which I thought these would be great. I can just clip them on any of the 3 bikes I've got, and that would be really, really good. But then I kind of had another wee look to think about it. And by the time we bought, the mounts to go on either side, that wasn't far off £200. I think maybe £180 or something for the mounting kit, just to put these on the bike. So I thought, well, that's quite a big chunk into buying the actual panniers. So yeah, so that's what I did. Instead of going this route, I decided to go the whole hog. I'd spent a load of money on it anyway. Yeah. So that's what we actually did. I bought the full BMW panniers for the bike, the proper ones. And again, they just have the wee lugs here. They clip onto the rail, and it just snaps onto this top bracket. So let's put it on. push them in and it just locks down into place, and then turn the key and that's it. Fully locked onto the bike. So yeah, so they're really, really nice panniers. So now I've basically got it into full touring mode with the panniers on both sides and the top box. Absolutely superb. But one of the reasons for making this video is when I was actually looking at the panniers and trying to decide whether to buy them or not. There's very little information on YouTube. Nobody told you how good they were or how bad they were. And so I only discovered various things just through actually owning them. But I thought, you know, for people who potentially are going to buy them, it'd be nice to maybe know a wee bit more information. So that's what I thought I'd talk about today, is the luggage system that I've got on the bike. So we'll start with the top box. And the top box is excellent, it really is. It's a lovely wee piece of kit. And again, it's all the locks on this are all this matched to the bike. So you've got one key basically. To open the top box, just press the wee button in. It's unlocked at the moment, and you can open the lid up. And even that feature is really quite nice, because it locks into position when it's up. So if it's a windy day, it's not going to blow down and fall on top of you. And it's even basically soft close as well, which is it's just got an air of quality about it. And then the inside has got a really good rubber seal all the way down around here, and on the case side there's basically a gully that goes all the way around, and there's water outlets. So any potential rain that could, in the unlikely event it's going to get through, it will just gather in this gully and run out. So we're totally waterproof. So it's a really, really nice top box. And again, it's big enough to hold my helmet and gloves, etc. when you're out for the day. And it's basically easy to remove. Just put the key in and turn the key the opposite way, and just grab the handle and it just pulls off and unclips, and put the handle back in to lock it back into position. So it's really, really nice top box. And moving on to the panniers, and they're really nice the way they integrate, and they've got a real solid feel to them. They're really, really nice. And there's two latches on the top, one for releasing the pannier from the bike and one for opening. And again, when it's in that position, that's everything locked onto the bike. You can't open it. There's a handle there for carrying the panniers. And put it in this position. That's it, basically unlocked. And to open the pannier, just pull up the grey lever and just pull it, and the pannier opens up really nicely. And inside you've got a strap to retain any of your items that's in there. But one of the good bits, which I never really knew until I actually got them, was this inner shelf. Because normally the panniers would open and it would be just this half, and you've got to cram everything into one side and cram other bits into the other side, whereby this really supports any of the items that you're putting inside the bag, the case. For instance, I carry this wee bag in all of the bikes. And it's basically I have a tyre compressor in there, a puncture repair kit, I think a wee first aid kit, and a few other wee bits and pieces. And I keep it in that bag, so hopefully I never have to go into it, but I can just transfer it between the various bikes. So again, it sits in there quite nicely. And BMW, they basically kind of say that they don't really say they're waterproof, they say they're showerproof. But I think they're just protecting themselves, because it's quite a good seal all the way around when it's closed. All the way around here there's a really good, quite a strong rubber seal system in here, and when it closes up there's a nice lip around the lid which it locates into that. And when you close it, it's really quite a tight seal in there. The last time I had panniers kind of like this was back over 20 years ago in my old Triumph Sprint ST. And the Triumph panniers, they were pretty basic in those days, and they certainly didn't have this kind of feel. I mean, they would bend and twist. Yeah, so yeah, although they say they're not waterproof, I reckon they probably are. And even if water was to get in, it would actually still run around this wee gully, and right down the bottom there's a wee water outlet, so any water that did get in there would creep through and would drain out the bottom. So yeah, I'm mightily impressed by these Panniers. I think they're really, really nice. Yeah, so I'm absolutely delighted by the top box and the two Panniers. I think they're really good, and I'm glad I did actually take the plunge and purchase these, because they really suit the bike, and yeah, I think they're excellent. But to make the Panniers even more functional, you can buy inner bags for them, and that was a bit I kind of debated quite a bit as well. Trawling the internet and YouTube and eBay and all sorts, trying to find Pannier inner bags and liners, and there's various options on the market. I know that going back to my old Triumph Sprint ST, you could get one Triumph ones, and it was just a soft bag, which didn't really, it sort of fit, it was the shape of the Pannier, but it wasn't brilliant. Yeah, they weren't the best. And a lot of the stuff that you could potentially buy, it was very difficult to know what you were getting. In the end, I decided to opt for these, which you won't be surprised to see that they are actually the genuine BMW Motorrad inner bags for these Panniers. And so I saw them online, I could see what I was getting, and I thought that's the proper thing for this bike. So yeah, a bit more expensive, but at least they should fit okay, and they should do the job quite well. But you couldn't find any real information. All you could see was this picture of the outside of the bag, and you never saw any other detail about them. Again, it wasn't until I actually bought them and I had them at home and I started to have a good look at them, I found out just how good they actually are. And then I realised, they were worth the money. These are excellent. And so I think I'll kind of explain that to you a wee bit. Again, we're talking about the bags, these potentially not being waterproof, I reckon they probably are, but in the off chance that anything did leak through, these have got really first-class zips that go around the whole bag. So I reckon that even if water was to get inside, nothing would penetrate that zip. They are really high quality, sealed, almost waterproof zips in there. So again, if something was to get in there, it's highly unlikely it's going to get into the inner bag. So your contents are going to be kept secure. And the bag is quite a hard case. It's got hard backing on it, and it's all fully shaped to go into all the wee nooks and crannies inside the Pannier. And again, it's got loops on the side as well for a shoulder strap, which comes with them. There is one for that, so you can just sling the bags over your shoulder, or there's a carrying handle. So they're really, really, really nice. I did think they looked awful small when I got them. I thought, a bit small. But actually, using the bags, this is the bit that really impressed me. If you were to open the case up, obviously, the bag is just going to go in, and that's where that shelf comes in nicely. The bag just sits on the shelf, like so. I mean, it's just located right down to the front of the bag, and the bag fits the case absolutely beautifully. So that's it, that's inside there. What a lovely, lovely design. But what I discovered is it actually got better than that. Again, as I was saying, if any water was to penetrate through here, it's got to penetrate through this zip, which is highly unlikely. But when you open the bags up, again, if it's sitting in there, you can still open it up in situ, which is really nice. So once the bag is opened up, again, it still just sits there, resting on that shelf, which is really good. And this end will just rest on the cover, so that's really nice. And there's an inner bag and another wee bag here. When I say I thought it was a bit quite small, again, it does come with a shoulder strap as well, which is sitting in there. I did a wee test packing of it, and I discovered that you can get a nice pair of trainers in there, and plus a few other odd bits and pieces, and that just is sealed in that section there really quite nicely. And being a biker, when you do travel and you're away, you don't really take a huge amount of stuff. And I managed to find, even in here, I managed to put a pair of jeans, underwear, t-shirts, the polo tops, some toiletries, and etc. I found that I could actually pack enough in there that I could almost get away for a week touring. And that was just in one bag. And again, there's two of these. So I thought that was excellent. And then I discovered this wee bit as well in here. These wee loop bits. And I thought, oh, that's odd, what's that all about? So this just basically folds out. And it gave this other, you can either just stick the lining inside, or pack all your gear inside and pull on the wee strap here, and that effectively becomes almost another inner dry bag. So again, this is actually really, really good. So that even if you wanted to open it, all your contents aren't falling out. And you could even some day things that you want, you could have them just sitting in this section, so you can just open it up and you can have access to items you want during the day and still have more secure things in here and on the inner container. And again, even going back to the waterproofness, if it's got to get through the first layer, it's got to get through the second layer, and it's got to get into this inner waterproof inner layer. I mean, your stuff's going to be bone dry. And it was wee features like this, which I could never even find on YouTube. I couldn't find anything that showed just how good and how well thought out these liners are. I think they're absolutely excellent, and I think they'd be an absolute pleasure to use on the bike. And again, you can put them in without this retaining straps, or you can use these straps as well to hold them in place. So it's really held and secure. Looking at the aftermarket things and how much they were costing, and although they're a bit more expensive, I think they're absolutely well worth the money. I think they are brilliant. And I'm looking forward to our first adventure away with them. But it didn't end there. If we go back and I can have another wee look at the top box. Yeah, you probably guessed. I went the whole hog and I bought the wee liner that goes with this as well. And it's different from the two that go in the side case. Yeah. This is the one that goes in the top case. Again, it's quite a substantial size bag, and it has a shoulder strap you can use to carry if you want. But it's not so rigid, although it does have a rigid, hard base. The rest of it is collapsible. And that just fits inside the top box absolutely perfectly. But from a practical point of view, there's basically two compartments. There's the main compartment in here, which again, I've got a pair of just waterproofs, some Mackay heated gloves, and I've basically got that bag full of my tyre pump and compressor and stuff, so it's all sitting in there. And there's still quite a lot of room in there for more items as well. But from a touring perspective, there's also another wee top flap as well, which opens up. And that, if you were touring, that's fantastic for holding any documents or items you might want. I mean, I've got some screen wash and stuff. I would tend to run with maybe another camera in here, or some batteries, etc. for filming. Anyway, so any wee items that you want to have quick access to, just have it sitting in that wee top section there, and it's so easy to get to. So that's my new touring setup. And the reason for making this video is because although I bought these items, I would love to have been able to watch a video that showed just how good the items are, and just let you see exactly what you're getting, because there was nothing out there. I just couldn't find it anywhere. And that's where I thought, yeah, I'm going to make a wee video just to show how good it is. Anyway, and as for the last wee video I made of making this mine, I just wanted to comment on the foot stand, the side stand foot, and also the brake pedal extension that I put on. Although they've made minor differences, they've made a huge difference to actually riding the bike. The brake lever is so much easier to use, it's much better control. The side stand, now you just put it on the side stand, you don't even think about it. It doesn't even feel like it's going over a lot further. They have both been excellent. Yeah, I think that's the bike finished now. It's just ready to tour, and just looking forward to some adventures which are going to come up this year. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you found it a wee bit maybe informative and it's been useful to you. If you've, like me, you've been having a dilemma of spending a lot of money on some genuine items, or to buy something a wee bit cheaper, which would probably be just as good. But is it? Yeah. Anyway, thanks for now. Take care, ride safe, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya. Oh, before I go, the one last wee bit. In one of the first videos that I showed the bike, I said that the helmet wouldn't fit in the side pannier. One viewer came on and says, if you put it on its side, it will probably fit. And sure enough, if you put it in on its side, the helmet does fit in this case. So yeah, you can put your helmet into that side case. And the top case. I don't think it fits in this one though. Okay, bye for now.